Everything's our way, right? Everything.
I love how much room you get with the houses, with the businesses, with everything. And so I really like Hardworks Fitness because even though everything out here is like so claustrophobic and cramped up, they've actually got a nice big space. They got floor to ceiling windows, great for lighting, for photography. They got a ring in the gym. They got heavy bags and workout equipment for the guys to get warmed up. So, we do a little media day for them, and it always comes out real nice over there. So shout out to Hardworks Fitness. That's what we did yesterday, Coach. And I watched the fights we're going to get into today. And so I guess, let's get right into it. I mean, first and foremost, Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin. I'll start with you, Coach. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Man, I don't know why I'm so conflicted about Anthony Joshua, bro. You would think I know this dude, bro, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the. And then you don't want to say shit like wasted potential and shit like, man, this dude been to the mountaintop, right? So he achieved everything. Gold medal. Several world titles. I mean, he did everything, really, actually, if he put it this way. He beat Frank Bruno by a mile, and that's who he gets compared to. He beat Frank Bruno by a mile, and while that was a different class, sure, certainly, it doesn't matter. All he could do is fight in his, and a lot of people think, and maybe I don't know if I ever got your opinion, but a lot of people put Vlad up there with all the greats and shit, right? So if you took Vlad's titles, man, that was a hell of a thing, man. So I think all the potential is what drives me with this guy, man. He's got everything except got to be careful, except the next step in his evolution of boxing. How's that? That sounds good.
No, that sounds good. I feel like I can understand that.
To me, it's like he became stagnant, and this is what people don't know. This shit ain't the NFL. This ain't that. There is no set path. This isn't a union. This ain't the UFC where you got to just go through this guy. Everybody's got their own path, right? Everybody. Every promoter and manager has to create a path for a fighter, right? When you give them a bunch, like, say, Olympic gold medalists and shit, like you damn near created the path yourself. So be careful what you're giving away when you created your own path, right? But, when you're in a machine like Ed and them have, and so it was laid out for AJ, right? And AJ, and it was perfect. I mean, he fought the hard fights, though. I'm not saying it's a layup like Haney's having a fight now, and that Kambosos is a great win, a damn legacy win, him becoming undisputed. But damn it, if they didn't pick the right path every time with Haney, I don't know if it's dumb luck or genius. And I think Bill's the manager, so I don't know how experienced he is or whatever. Or is he just a good thinker? I don't know. But it seems like to me, Devin Haney has picked the right. Every time something was presented to him, they went the right way.
Yeah.
Rather not it was smart or not. Rather we said, nah, he shouldn't fight that dude. They did it and won. Yeah. AJ is similar to that, except AJ, they forgot about the boxing part, it seems like, almost. Or maybe they didn't forget. Maybe they just say it's good enough, so we winning, so let's keep going. But, they all do it, man. And I think you and I are the few Americans who love English boxing, so we root for them and shit. But, guys, y'all don't have the pedigree, man, over there. Y'all really don't. Y'all have the pedigree of this. And this is a great pedigree. Of course, the historical part, but they build solid amateur boxers, man. Solid. They know how to win on an amateur circuit, but as you can't fucking take that to the pros, bro. It ain't gonna last, man. What's the big guy they had with the dreadlocks and shit? Won a gold medal, got smoked.
Harrison.
Like his third fight or something like that, and then he got knocked out every time he got touched. Bruno, similar thing. You know, big buff guy, strong guy. What in their minds is a tough guy or fighter. He should be great, but no, they don't got nothing to do with it. And so all those great guys, you know, and if Lennox Lewis ain't your English heavyweight watermark, he should be your heavyweight watermark, period, let alone being English.
Right.
But that should be those guys, you know, the bee's knees. That should be their Ray Robinson, right? Their Roberto Duran, whatever the case, however you call it. And it's like they'll stick with that shit, man. You don't see 10 years ago, everybody should know what's happening. You remember when Fury uppercutted himself and shit? Everybody thought it was funny. Ha, look at this big dummy uppercutted himself. You should have knew way back then, if your big boy gets in there with that fat white boy, he's going to get cooked, man. He's going to get cooked, bro. He don't have no lane switches, no gear switches, no nothing. Listen, man. Franklin, how big was Franklin, G?
He's little, man. He's little. Let me look it up, but I want to say, I mean, he can't be more than 6 feet, 6'1".
Everybody who watched that fight, think about it or go back and look.
6'2". I mean,
why?
I'm listed as 6'2", but that's iffy for me.
So he's probably like a Ruiz or something, right? But here's the thing. When your 6'6" guy is looking the 6 foot nothing guy in the eye,
it's a problem.
He don't know what he's doing. And he's not being told what to do. So it's never going to get better for him, dude. It's never going to get better for him unless he fixes that. Now, would Derek fix it or Robert? You know, Robert had one shot, but expecting a guy to fix a guy in a camp is ridiculous anyway. You got to do what you're working with and try to get him through it, kind of like they did with the Ruiz rematch. Let's just get through it and get the title. Well, man, and now I'm looking at AJ, and what used to be what I thought people mistook, you know, no dog in him. You heard that before. He ain't got no dog and he ain't got no aggression and all that type of shit. No, he's confused because every time he throws a punch, he gets counted and gets hit hard every single time, dude. To where now,
that's why he's so apprehensive. That's why he's so apprehensive.
He's punching. He's punching and doing this. Listen, I know there's trainers that teach that, right? And then there's trainers that teach it just in the inside, right? That's their inside game. Pop, catch, pop, block, pop, you know. All of it's right in certain scenarios and wrong. I don't want to keep sounding like a fucking, you know, like a jerk. All of those things are for certain specific times. But if you're 6'6" heavyweight, is on the outside throwing a jab and then doing this because he's going to get hit, somebody's not teaching this dude range and distance. Somebody's not teaching. The fact that he's looking a guy 6 foot in the face is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Everybody knows the high ground has the advantage. The high ground don't lean over. That's how you get knocked out. The high ground has the advantage. Make this dude climb up this hill. No, I'm gonna come down and fight him. It's geometry, bro.
Yeah.
And then add your athleticism and shit. But my point was, what I used to see as confusion, now I'm starting to think maybe he don't want to, you know, maybe he's because there was a few times in that fight I wanted to grab a clip, but I don't know how to put that on our show and shit. Like put the clips on, because that'd be sweet. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. There's times when Joshua should be punching the shit out of this dude because he's standing right there, and Joshua just don't feel comfortable punching. Even in the breaks, like Joshua break with this dude, they separate. The ref's out the way. He ain't getting involved. And Josh was waiting for this dude to put his hands up and shit.
Yeah.
Man, hit this dude. Let's go home, bro. If he's going to stand right there in front of you with his hands down.
Yeah.
Man, I'm never going to say a kid who fought hard like he did against Klitschko and Andy Ruiz. I'm never going to call him a coward or he's a hoe or none of that, bro. The kid just don't have the ability to do nothing about it, man.
Yeah.
Now, I hope I hope James works out with him, because after the fight he says he's coming back to Texas. I hope it works out with him. I know Derek. I know Earl. We go over there. We spar. We get we got Frank ready for Ali, and then you know, we know these guys. Go look at how Errol fights. That's how Joshua fights, bro. But he's not Errol, so it don't work.
Right.
So Derek's gonna have to add, subtract, do a bunch of shit, and get the confidence, and pick the right fights, and all that. And can you pick the fights when his promoter saying we fighting Fury if he's gonna fight next? Because okay, if you come and hire me for a one shot, well, that's what I am. I'm a bounty hunter, right? So I'm gonna take you, try to come up with something that we can get this guy with. And it's a one-shot deal. If it works, great. Sure, you'll think I'm a genius and pay me a bunch of money. If it don't, then I was part of your problem, and so it'll be my fault you lost. That's fine if we going into it and we agree. But if you talking about you come and learn boxing and all that, I got to take over, bro. Because remember Lennox, bro. Remember Lennox with Manny. They didn't jump right in the high water, bro. And it was rough. It was rough, man. I think Mercer was like the third time together, maybe the second time, and that shit was brutal. And it proved to everybody that Lennox was a dog. He wasn't no hoe. He's gonna stand there and fight, and he just got clipped out before anybody can get clipped out. It's nothing to do with a chin, bro. If you 6'5", 6'6", 250 pounds, bro, you get knocked out. If you get hit in the chin by a guy that big, it just is what it is. But I'm starting to get cynical, bro. Like I'm starting to just give up. Like I don't know what to do with him, bro. Like he needs some help, dude. This kid needs some fucking help, bro. And then I imagine being his age and him, his status, hero in England, and he's got to know exactly what I'm talking about. Even if he don't say it like me, no, you know, nobody don't talk like me. But his version is what I'm saying. Yeah. And he's got to know it, bro. And the reason why he ain't a hoe is because he shows up, he trains and fights. But he's in there confused, man. You're not giving me, or he's not. I don't want to say not giving me, because these is world class trainers he's with. They got to be giving him the right shit, right? But he's not getting it, bro.
Maybe not. You know what I mean? Maybe
not. You're right. Because
I just don't like, you know, like you mentioned, Coach. He fights so small. His hands are right here. He's balled up in the fetal position almost, and he's right there eye to eye with Franklin. And you know, every single time I was watching the fight, every single time Franklin went in on the inside, his strategy was to tie him up. It was almost like a glitch.
That was AJ's plan too. So that's right, what made that fight garbage. Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm talking about AJ. Like it was almost like a Klitschko fighting small, where every time someone came in, he'd tie him up. It was horrible. It was horrible to watch, and everything that, you know, I've kind of learned since hanging out with you and talking boxing with you, I mean, it just all looked wrong to me as well, you know. You know, and like you said, the range, he just doesn't seem to use his range properly.
Listen, man, and I'm giving the game. Everybody wants the secret sauce. I'm fucking giving it to you. Every inch Anthony Joshua's back foot is behind him is the inch he's giving up in reach. It's why anybody who teaches you to get short, look a guy eye to eye when you bigger and shit, they don't understand the fundamentals of boxing. They have their fundamentals, but I'm talking about what I believe is the traditional. Joe Louis, bro. Joe Louis.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand Joe Louis is the greatest fighting machine that was ever made, then you just don't know. You just don't know, bro. It ain't my fault you don't know. It's just you don't know it. But when Joshua six, look, I'm 6'1", right? G, you what, 6'3", 6'4", something? You big dude, right?
6'2", 3", yeah, something.
All right, 6'3". Check this out, 6'3". You on your feet?
Because my big ass head, coach. My head's bigger than yours, coach.
Yeah, I wear a little hat. Look. If I was any smarter, bro, you know, I couldn't handle it, man. No. But listen, it's just walk around. Says the more I spread my feet, the shorter I'm getting. My head's going down, bro.
Yeah.
How they don't know? You're drowning. You're stuck. Now I gotta get up in order to go, and then get back down and fight and get up. And that's the predominant boxing today. It is.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the 80s. It wasn't in the 70s. It damn sure wasn't in the 30s and 40s and 50s. But that's what they do, bro. Because, sure, Joshua looks like a Greek god. You know, what we said the other day, your boy hitting the tie and shit. Oh, they doing all that shit. But where's the boxing, G? The boxing, G. If they not boxing, it's not going to matter. Listen, Fury being conditioned, bro. He couldn't go 12 rounds. He's too big if he wasn't in condition.
Yeah.
He's in condition, but he can lean on his boxing when he gets tired because you don't know range or distance or tying up or the hand traps or any of that, spins, splitting legs. You don't know none of that. Fury knows how to do all of that. So he's going to have a heavy bag in front of him. And look, and I know for some reason, like, people are saying Fury is ducking Usyk. That, really? Listen, and Usyk done prove he's a much greater technician than AJ, right? When they fight, G, Fury's going to destroy him, bro. He's going to destroy Usyk, bro. And listen, I like Usyk too, bro. I like him too. It's just not gonna match. It's not gonna work. None of that little man fighting is gonna work with that 7-foot giant that knows every single thing about boxing you need to know.
He's gonna be exhausted moving around. He's just gonna get picked apart at range.
He's gonna get pummeled. Now, can he clip him? Yes. That's just a waiver. That should be said before any fight. You know, anything can happen as long as the motherfucker's punching.
With a clip clause. We'll put the clip clause. Clip clause aside. You know, that's what it is, bro. So I'm really, it's kind of sad, bro. As a trainer, bro, it's sad to see him headed the way he's headed, and I just hope they turn it around, bro. However, I mean, you got to give a guy like Derek, you know, with his credentials, Bill and Earl and shit, you got to give him enough fights to do something, right? Yeah.
And then, you know, but that's the gamble right there. That's the gamble. Do you go get ruined or do you fix? So far, he passed the test. He got past Franklin. But I need to see some more, man.
Yeah, you know, it's really sad. He's got I'm reading here, 6'10" wingspan, 82-inch reach on Anthony Joshua, man, and he's just not. And that's if you fight wrong, you should be longer than the guy. If you fight right, he should never hit you. And that's Joshua's problem. He's getting hit every time. If he throws a jab, he gets hit. He was getting nailed by.
If he double jabs, he gets hit.
I want to say overall, I thought the fight was like a sparring session up until the 10th round. You know, maybe 10, 11, and 12, they picked up the pace a little bit beyond what like a normal sparring session would be. But I did notice Franklin was nailing him with some shots. I do think Joshua like completely dominated the fight. Like,
oh yeah. It wasn't no question who won.
Yeah, I definitely you knew who won, but like, yeah, I felt like he could have done a lot more to get him out of there. I also wanted to mention, I wanted your thoughts on this, Coach. His arm, I mean, and you called this, so I got to give you a lot of credit. You said, what's he going to improve upon, you know, with this new trainer in the first camp? It's probably going to be conditioning. And he came in with arms looking like bowling balls. I mean, again, he's fighting like this, and so his arms are already kind of flexed, you know, but his shoulders and his bicep is just bowling balls. it's kind of
that was the biggest he ever been. That was the biggest he ever been.
And he looked like I started to laugh because not only was it what you said that he's just going to have improved condition, but I started to think of Tyson Fury's crazy yelling, calling him a bodybuilder and all this stuff. And, you know, he looked like a bodybuilder in there, man. He really looked like a bodybuilder in there. And as stiff, you know, I'm not going to say as stiff, but the stiffness of a bodybuilder, the kind of ability, the stance, the way a bodybuilder you would imagine would fight, kind of fighting that way. And credit to him, he won the fight, but you know,
I think our prediction of anybody's a live dog with him was proven still too. Like he was getting punched on, bro, by a little bitty dude, bro. It's like if he's little, he's gonna fight down. If they big, he'll fight up. It's like, well, that's them controlling the pace. They controlling the fight already. If you gonna fight down, if you gonna fight up, that means you letting them lead. That's dumb. Stand your ground, bro. Draw a line in the sand, and they can't come past it. And when you want to go past it, you fucking go past it correctly, right? Yeah. Take your breaks at distance. He doesn't have any of that, bro. He doesn't have any of that, man.